11:36 East. When have I streamed this late before? But our friend Big 50 sent me something. And to my freaking shock, my jaws dropped. You know, to understand who this character is, if you have no idea, I recommend you go on our channel and you look in. There's like playlists, and one of them is called The Classics. And you should see the picture of I think it might be what do you call it? Vito Rizzuto's Exotic Retaliation. Probably the first one on that list. You need to go check that out for sure if you haven't. And most of you haven't. I spent hours making that one. And it's how you say, it's storytelling format. As entertaining as it can be, you know. But anyhow, putting that aside, well, not really. If you don't know who Jack Simpson is, there's a new bombshell story that just came out. This is the guy who helped Rénal Desjardins plot the offing of Salvatore Montagna, the iron worker, Sal. So, crazy. It was him. So he did this very late in his life. He was in his mid-60s, I think. And, it's been a while now. It was in 2011. How crazy, how time flies, no? That was during the Montreal Mob War. What do you call it? The second generation mob war. Crazy, man. Where after Vito Rizzuto, there was another war. Depends how you count it. But anyhow, I believe this is the man who... Remember Salvatore Montagna wanted to help Reynald take over Montreal, and then something went up. They backstabbed each other. Well, at the end, they didn't trust each other, and Reynald asked his best friend to go meet Sal in downtown. Sal parked his car, and from his car he entered I believe was this man's car, and they drove him to a chalet, where they were planning on offing him. And Montagna figured it out. He tried to escape, but he was already shot. So then he ran in the snow. It was freezing, in Canada. Just with the snow and the ice itself, you can die from the cold, man. But he got shot, and then I don't know what happened. He bled to death, and he went in the river, where they found his body, or nearby. So here's the bombshell news. What up, Adam Rogers? What's up, my man? How are you, pal? Guess what, guys? Well, Jack Simpson apparently became a Hell's Angels this weekend at 82 years old. Wow. They must be desperate as hell or he's got some form of degenerative disease, and he done a bunch of favors for them, and they want to patch him before he goes to the Shadow Realm. Who knows at this point? Well, we've seen it happen before in the American Mob. I can't remember which story. The guy was about to go to the Shadow Realm, and they made him a made man. I think it was a story of Sammy the Bull Gravano. They said, who cares? He's about to go, whether he was going to get in or not. Just give it to him. Something like that. Crazy story. Well, I'm not saying this is what happened, but how do you join the Hells Angels at 82? Or option 3, he's loaded. He's so loaded, and he's got those connections that even the Hells Angels can't say no to, especially in these trying times. Well, let's read and see what's happening here, pal. Jack Simpson, a close friend of Godfather Rénal Desjardins, the ones who tried to take over the Montreal Mafia by eliminating their Sicilian clan. Yes, those guys. The best friend, I believe, right? He became a biker this weekend, man. Crazy at 82. And here's a photo of him. You thought he was old then? This was in 2011 when he was arrested for the offing of Salvatore Montagna, a notorious criminal. And this article is written by none other than the best of the best, Félix Séguin. with Eric Thibault. You know, the partners in crimes who brought you the Scopa undercover interview with him while he was while they were planning to off Scopa, and he had that downtown. While he was dealing trafficking cane in downtown, and he had that stash house, he was meeting Felix again inside that stash house. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a 5-part series. I divided it, I translated it as best as I could, word for word for you. It's called the Scopa Files. You could find it on our channel, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are the guys who made that, who met Salvatore, or was it Andrea Scopa? Andrea, yeah. All right, so a notorious criminal of 82 years old has publicly flaunted his new patch, it seems, last weekend, at the same time where bikers are under numerous attacks by young gangsters. Yeah, we need to emphasize young. Jack Simpson was proudly displaying his hang-around vest of the Hells Angels chapter, the Three River chapter, Saturday, in their bunker in Hérouville. If I recall, the bunker of the Three River chapter was under attack recently, was it not? Something rings my bell that just a few weeks ago we did read about that. They were involved in something. They were a victim of something. Yes. Either there was rounds set off at them, or someone tried to Molotov it, but something definitely happened to the bunker in Hérouville. Something related to that bunker. So, fast forward 2-3 weeks later after this, the BFM events and all that, the hang-around, he's wearing his hang-around vest over there. Saturday, he was spotted. At what they had was I guess they had a drive out with the motorcycles. Forgot what you call those. They had the drive out last year, I guess, or this year, earlier this year. Same location, it says. Oh, they actually had another one. My apologies. They just happened to have another meeting and they drove out in groups. Okay. Simpson, who was wearing his hang-around patch, and it had the inscription of the Three River chapter there. Sorry about that. So let me see if we get any information you don't know. Now it says that it's possible that in the rules of the Hells Angels, the internal rules, becoming a prospect takes about a year. Imagine making an 82-year-old man a prospect. Does he have another year? And here's a picture of Reynal when he was arrested, remember? Now, the identification of the 80-year-old has caused a certain surprise in the organized crime division squad of the Sûreté du Québec and the regional squad mixed in Mauricie. Of course, who were on the scene surveilling them, right? So they're surveilling the bikers, anything you're doing right now. Maybe even protecting them unknowingly. They're not asking for protection, but the cops are going to force it. They don't want to look at this point. BFM, all that stuff, they're absolutely wild. You wouldn't be surprised if they came and they did a St. Valentine's Day massacre or something. It wouldn't be shocking. I would not be surprised at that point. So the officers know that by being present, no one's going to do anything. I'm assuming that's one of the reasons. But then the other reason is they want to collect the names, and you see how it pays off. They figured this out now. So, interesting turn of events here. You got to realize something, that if the rumors, well, in the newspapers were true, and the Sicilian faction has beef with the Hells Angels, now you note that the Sicilian faction, we don't know if they have peace. Well, we don't. They know, but we don't know if they have peace with this side of the Italian mob. So, thing is, they just allied themselves with the bikers, no? Which is their enemies. So, which one is it? It gets a little confusing, or maybe not. Maybe it just really does line up. Depends on on who you ask. Right now, we're the confused bunch trying to figure this stuff out. Here's Salvatore Montagna there, no longer with us. Long time now, huh? Feels like it was yesterday. Feels like it was yesterday. 13 years ago. He thought that he's gonna come from America and take over Canada, you know? But he just didn't know. He did not know how it works here, you know? He didn't know you need to speak Francais. But my apologies. I had to insert that one. So, the organization is aging, or its members are aging, it says. For almost a year, the powerful criminal organization, countrywide, right? This big, powerful nation, I don't know how you say it, this organization is countrywide, it's nationwide, is what he's saying, has lost its luster in Quebec in reason of the stupefier wars that certain gangs of young ones are delivering directly to them, to their face, basically. And here they are. They're thinking, let's recruit an 82-year-old, maybe multi-millionaire with connections with. But why would you? What kind of connections are you so desperate to have? You know, you already have connections for Kane all across Mexico. You got a bunch of people. What's the real reason here? Is it the war funds? Is it you don't? You need to have the cheapest price possible with the money, or what? What is an 82-year-old man providing for you? It has to be connections or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It has to be connections. It has to be something else. But the Kane part is already sort of not an absolute critical thing, you know? So what is it, I wonder? Is it because it marries them somewhat to a faction of the mob? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. Throwing everything there. But let's continue. Yeah, we know this. It says that the rebelling young groups are refusing to pay the 10% tax. What? Yeah, why should they pay anything to anyone? You know. Now that Gregory Woolley's no longer here, they probably eliminated him, or it's the Hells Angels. Give or take, whichever you want. Whichever you want. Okay, so according to their information, the average age of the Quebec chapter of the Hells Angels, this we already know, they're older. So there's 16 members, averaging 61 years old. Now, this is not, he joined the Three River chapter, right? Should be not the exact same one, but they're close by. Okay, so I didn't like that word there. I'm not allowed to say that on my channel. Since last winter, commandos of the BFM, armed with, you know what, the tool and also the sharp stuff, you know, kidnapped and sequestration. I don't know if you say this in English, how you say it, and teed numerous traffickers who were working for the Hells Angels, to force them to change their allegiances, because they already know who these traffickers are. They used to actually collect for these guys, and then they stopped. Magically, they all stopped within the last 2 years. Suddenly, you know, find that funny that they had all these years to do it, never did cross their mind. Something changed in this last 2 years for all these groups to decide, we're gonna do it. We need to do it. Before it didn't even, how come it didn't cross their minds 5 years ago? We didn't hear none of this. Why not 6? Why not 7? Why not 8? Why not 9, 10? Why suddenly in the last 2 years? I don't know. I'm wondering, you know, I'm asking. Where are we here? They notably kidnapped wait a second. Oh, they tried, guys. They notably tried to kidnap a veteran of the Hells Angels, Mario Banan Auger, in February. Now, I don't think I heard this. I think it's a first. But I've been covering so many details, you know, it's easily forgotten. However, this is a bombshell. I have a hard time believing I would forget it. But here you go, guys. I'm learning, I suppose for the first time, that This man right here, Hell's Angel, they tried to kidnap him. Maybe that's why I don't remember. It wasn't successful, so it didn't hit. But in February, they tried to kidnap him, apparently. Shouldn't this be major news? Wrote an article about how it happened, the sequence of events, who it was, how did it fail. There's been nothing, not a peep. Keep going. Now there's a quote here. It says, "It's the fault of Bonnano." Oh yeah, that's in the video, right? Yes, in the video. Remember the person they kidnapped was screaming, "C'est la faute de Bonnano." There you go. They're just reminiscing. We covered that together at that time. The BFM is also suspected to having let off rounds on the residence of another member of the Hells Angels of Quebec, Mathieu Pelletier. And remember, there's the Pelletiers, there's the son, and there's the father. The father, longtime Hells Angels. The son is a young cat from the generation of Al Boivin and the other guy. Young ones, So there's two Hells Angels here. Two Pelletiers. Now, I don't know which one it is. Me, I'm not good with first names. I always forget the first names. But I seem to have a memory for the last names. Sometimes I don't remember who is who. But it's either the father or the son. Because they're both Hells Angels. So now we find out they tried to kidnap Bonnano Auger in February. Tried, right? They didn't make it. But they definitely sprayed the home of Mathieu Pelletier. And also, they sprayed the bunker of the Hells in Frampton. Well, a shared bunker with the Red Devils, right? Frampton. And now he says they also sprayed Hérouville in the last 10 months, so both of them. So there you go. Yeah, the one in Hérouville is what I was telling you. Based on my memory, a few weeks ago, they either tried a torch or they sprayed. I think it was they sprayed. They sprayed the bunker of the Three River chapter. That's it. That's what must have happened. There you go, guys. Confirmed right here. Just to tell you that it wasn't coming out of my butthole. What's going on? So the police officers proceeded to make about 50 arrests tied to this battle since winter in what they call Operation Scandalous. Now, 50 people, all of them in the BFM side. Funnily enough. But to be fair, they're the ones causing havoc, and the street gangs from Montreal as well. To be very fair, the Hells Angels acted civilized so far. You got to give it to them. They're not the ones who've been dragging the buildings on fire and things like that. Let's be real here, So let's keep reading. The conflict has nevertheless retaking flame, basically, came back in force. Remember, there was a lull. There was a small moment where there was a lull, like in between October well, Gregory died in November. It was a little bit after that. It was like between February to April, it was on fire. Remember? It was like action-packed. Every day I was covering something. And then approximately April until I don't know, man. Until should I say August, guys? I don't know. But you know what I mean? There was a lull, and after that, right now, we've been picking up like crazy the past few weeks. That's what it's saying. Let's keep going. Yeah, they're talking about the 14-year-old. Let me just see if they add any detail here. No details there. There you go. Now it says that 14-year-old and another adolescent, remember there were two, but there had to be an adult driving them also. I don't know. They didn't catch the third guy. But it had to be an adult because they was driving a car. These two kids, they don't have a driving license. I don't know. I have a feeling they stole a car, but someone had to drive it. Maybe it's them. But there was a third person. I'm assuming it's an adult. But that car had an AK-47 that burned. It was 1 kilometer away from that Frampton bunker. Now, the two adolescents, we get a confirmation here. Not the speculation this time. It's a cold fact. It's saying that him and another adolescent would be members of EGK. There you go. Saint Leonard gang, guys. But they received their orders, don't get it twisted, allegedly, from Arab power. And I'm all for that one. I believe that 100%. There's no way to prove it, but these are not just street gangs. These are gangs that go to prison. That go, and I've covered one member that was carrying out orders last year. So I'm pretty certain of this. This is not. We're not going to be proven that this is not true. Well, I'm not saying he's a member necessarily, but I'm saying EGK did are working. What was I trying to tell you? I was saying EGK. That you were saying these kids just confirmed they are EGK actually, but that EGK received the order from Arab Power. That's what I mean. I'm pretty certain of this, without any like hard evidence to show you, a phone number or something like that. We can pretty certain of this. They received the order from Arab Power. And you won't be bold enough to do any of this stupid stuff, like burning the bunker of the Hells Angels, going through all this rampage without having motivation to do so. Not you have a plug, you have a connect that's feeding you the money, that's making all of this worthwhile, making promises to you. You're attached to the hip. Imagine if Gregory Woolley had to be attached to the hip to someone bigger organizations. Everything he did or he could do was always thanks to a bigger organization. And he was willing to enslave all the street gangs for his own pocket. He was totally fine with that. First it was for the Hells Angels, then it was for the Mafia, then it was, and then he consolidated the street gangs for a little while. But it was always because he had someone, he had Maurice Mambouché when he was with the Hells Angels. Then his plug was sent in prison, and they turned their backs on his plug. It was even rumors that they gave him the middle finger, basically blamed it all on him. Maybe some people even considered taking him out, but they didn't. Said doesn't matter. That one's just a rumor, but they definitely turned their backs. We know that he was pissed. Maurice Mambouché was pissed, and we know that in prison he was thinking, if I ever get out of here, some of these guys are going to pay hard for turning their backs on me. After everything I did for them, I didn't snitch anyone either, and I am sitting, and they're going to turn their back on me. And he knew that if he got out, people were going to pay hard, or that's what he wanted anyways. So, what I'm trying to say is where were we? The Hells Angels. Yes, these guys have to. If Gregory Woolley had to be attached to the hip, you have to tell yourself that these Arab power dudes are attached to someone, to something. Someone's feeding them the blow that they need. Someone's feeding them these arms. They feel confident about doing all this. There's a reason, there's something behind it. It's not just they're randomly deciding they're just gonna off people. There's something behind. There's a confidence. There's something behind this confidence. There's a plug. They know someone's with them. It might just be the Sicilian faction. I'm highly suspicious. I have zero proof of this. Absolutely none. And no one told me anything. It's just I get this feeling in my gut that they're awfully quiet in all this, and they're benefiting. Whether it's willingly or just by coincidence, they're really benefiting from a lot of this. If they are truly at war with the Hells Angels, so that's my thought about that. And I think that EGK, they have the battery on their back for sure. It's got to be Arab Power in that sense. In that case, then Arab Power has a battery on their back too from something else, someone else. You don't go through all this. Same for BFM. Or unless it's all these street gangs coming together are each other's battery on their backs. They feel they're too strong and it's getting to them. And they're certain of this, But I don't know, man. I don't know. Because, if you don't buy this theory, remember, even BFM initially had a battery on their back from the Hells Angels. They were working for them, doing their job. Did you not notice that the Hells Angels, everyone was like, they're the most powerful. No one can do nothing to them. Oh, you're going to start seeing bodies drop left and right. Didn't you notice it was always that was the train of thought? But now when you see it, they have never done anything at all to reply to anything. They're only the ones under attack. And don't tell me it's because they're trying to be smart businessmen. They're trying to be only that. Of course they are. But it's not just that, bro. It's not just that. It's not possible at this point to have it go this far. They're only the victims. They're like the. It's shocking twist of event to see them like this. I'm not encouraging them to do anything. I'm not saying that for legal reasons. Really, in my heart, I'm not encouraging them. I think that in a way it's good the way they are. I think it's good, but it shows the difference between them and the others. Fortunately or unfortunately. But think about this. They're not doing anything at all. Yeah, I'll tell you my version, my speculation, and all this. For those 30, 40 years, the last, now we're 2024, I'm starting to believe that at least the last 20 years, most of everything, their power came from the street gangs that were working for them. I'm not talking about their financial power, but when someone was getting offed, it was these networks, the Gregory Woolley networks, that was doing all this. They were making all this money, and then this last few years, the other street gangs, they dismissed Woolley a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. But they did work for him as far as 2014. We have the proof there. There was proof. They were sending out hits left and right. And the hits were going to these street gangs to do it. But now we have way more street gangs. It's not just one. One being controlling the other ones. That one is gone. That one's gone. That monopoly type of situation is kind of gone now. Well, not kind of. It is gone. And it looks like the other ones wisened up, and they decided they're gonna no longer be muscles. And you could say, wait, that's not true. But then how come the Hells Angels have no muscle? They haven't flexed a single muscle so far? It's the law of the baddest in this game, it seems like. It's about brutality. It's about crushing your opponents and leaving no doubts in their minds. You're going to tell me these last 2 years, that's what they've been doing successfully, or that they were playing a psychological game of trying to look like Men in Black and all sophisticated. I don't buy that. Not anymore. I did for a little while. I'm looking at this, and I'm not saying that to encourage them at all. One of my fears is people listen to my channel and then I influence. I'm not that conceited, but it's just a fear of mine still. That I listen to this, then like maybe the street gangs did do that. Maybe they listened to me and then they got emboldened. They said, yeah, you know what? Well, yeah, why are we? And then they started doing this. I find it really coincidental that it all happened in the last 2 years. This channel exists the last 2 years before that, but no one ever tested it before. No one tried to contest anything. Now, magically, it's all coming like a tornado. I don't know, but definitely don't want to influence anybody. Just to be clear there, I don't want to influence these bikers to do anything and start to go all savage either, man. Absolutely not, But, yeah. Wonder when we're gonna have peace. I'm gonna leave it there, man. Think long enough video here. What's up, guys? Shout out to Zico, Sonic Yeet, Ivy Nameless. What's up, buddy? Sorry, man. I didn't see your message on time. How you doing? K6 Real, Wild One, Adam Rogers. Before I forget, John Lariat. What's up, buddy? It's been a while. Zico, Sonic Eat, and Level Nameless. I said correctly? Level Nameless Level. YouTube pal says, they have like a horse tails on their cars and logo like a swords, I bet. I don't know which one you're talking about. Hells Angels? I'm not sure. Adam Rogers coming with the interesting articles. Sure, buddy. Yeah, man, go for it, bud. Go for it. Let's do it, man. Why not? Why not? If you can find it, of course. Just going to give him a few seconds. Look, last time he led us down the rabbit hole. And we went on a banger, So I trust whatever he's going to send us, man. Trust me. The last 2-3 episodes, we got somewhere. It was thanks to him. We credit to this guy, he completely changed the direction of 2 different episodes, I believe. Completely, man. Blew our minds and our jaws dropped, and then we went on a totally different direction thanks to him. But it's true, the news would have came out and we would have still read the news and still landed somewhat there. But he preemptively sent us there. That's what's crazy. the twist of events. It was like destiny, you know. Go for it. This episode, Sonigit, you want put it there, and I'll keep it for next video. I'll keep it for next video, so we can stay on this topic here, on this on if possible, on Montreal at least. I want to try to stick Montreal. It's about the guy who off the 15-year-old we talked about yesterday's stream. I can't remember the 15. Oh, girl, I can't remember. Go for it, man. Yeah. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. Just go for it. Go for it. Because yeah, the reason I was saying that is because we're at 30 minutes. We're already at 30, you know. And yeah, I don't want to go on an unrelated one for 30 when we reached 30 minutes. But I already said yes to you. I'm a man of my word. You know, I'm a man of my word. You know, once I say yes, now you tell me it's completely unrelated. I would have not have done it, you know. But like I told you, I'll take the L, you know, for my friends. I don't. It's not like that, you know. But here comes the, no one has time for all this, man. I hate your guts, but I'm still gonna peek. I can't help myself. Those comments, they come in. Let's continue. So he sent us, Restaurant Moretti has been hijacked by actors of organized crime. This one was updated on the 12th of May. How did I miss this? I don't get it. I've been scouring this stuff, and I still miss this. Moretti. We may have even covered this restaurant. In Griffintown. Restaurant Moretti is located on Wellington in Griffintown. So we saw near the limits. Let's just freaking do this so you can see how everything is nearby. Did you note? Yeah, the other stories with the Arab Power ones when they were burning they burned the building, right? It was very nearby. Remember, look at this, Rue de la Montagne, that's what it was, no? And we turned on this, on Wellington. So that, the Arab Power building burning, I believe it was like somewhere here. Now, or if it wasn't, it would be a little bit, it would be like up here. Yeah, it was actually up here. Old Montreal actually was here. But there was another fire in that story that was here, okay? Just keep that in mind. I don't know if it's going to help us, but good to you keep in mind. This whole area is being extorted by gangs. 3 gangs at the same time is why I'm telling you this, if you remember the previous. So now he wants us to check out this article. This article says that Pizzeria Moretti has been hijacked by gangs or by organized crime, it says. See, once again, Wellington Street. You need to know Wellington Street is Point St. Charles here. It actually goes down here. Home sweet home for me, but not anymore. Of course, not anymore. I'd be too depressed to live there. So you cross the bridge here and you're in downtown. But you see what I was saying when I was saying this was downtown already? You could practically see the buildings from here. You see them, you know? But yeah, no place to raise your kids. But some of us, we grew up like that. Let's keep going. So you got the Moretti targeted by organized crime. What is this about, my man? Okay, this name, we read about this name before. I definitely read this name. Giuseppe Focarazzo, suspected by the cops of laundering money for the mafia and the bikers 12 times in 5 years. Now we have a Pietro Diadamo, chief of one of the Montreal clans, one of the strongest clans, according to cops. 8 times. So I guess he laundered money for him 8 times. I'm not sure I think that's what they're saying. Then we got the famous Marco Pizzi, chief of the clan in the northeast of Montreal. Remember, he had his dealership burned. These guys are all into that what do you call it? The illegal gambling stuff. I assume Kane. Well, allegedly. But these are all Rizzuto allies, right? This is the faction I was telling you that. There's the Desjardins faction, and then there's this faction that are separate. They were separate, and we were gonna ask yourself questions: are they still enemies by default of history? You know, you wonder this. But keep going. Leonardo Rizzuto, co-chief of the Sicilians, who is the son of Vito Rizzuto, 4 times. So he laundered money 4 times for him, is what it's saying. David Castelli, president of the Marauders Hell's Angel school in Montreal 10 times. So he also laundered money for the Marauders 10 times. Now, which year is that? I don't know. And David Lefebvre, member of the Hells Angels of Montreal, 3 times. Okay, so we're talking about a restaurant here, and we're talking about money laundering. They don't tell us he owns it, but they just say he laundered money for people. So I'm assuming through this restaurant. Okay, sometimes that's what I don't appreciate about the francophone news articles. They're very poetic sometimes. They don't tell you something, but they're telling you something without telling you something. And then you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're not certain if that's what they mean, but you gotta sort of assume that's what they mean. No, it says no. It's how many times they went. Oh, okay, good. Thank you. How many times they went? So he's suspected of laundering money for the mafia and the bikers, 12 times in 5 years, guys. Right here. Then he says 8 times for this man, 6 times. I don't know. They're talking about money laundering to me. I'm confused. But let's keep going. Maybe it's going to say so. Trust you guys. The beginning of 2019, about 80 individuals related to organized crime, mafia, bikers, and members of street gangs, and a network of fraudsters were observed by the police entering restaurant Moretti in Wellington, in Griffintown. The last 5 years and a half, the police of the Esquad Eclipse team, remember I talked about that, I described that to you. We're not going to do that again. But it's part of the lore, very important. Well, not very, it's pretty important. If you don't just want to have a passing knowledge of things. If you want to be a Canadian who knows underworld history, crime history, and you want to, and you know, it's like you got to know these names. You know, you got to be interested in this stuff because this is a historical police team there. Where is it? Where are we here? Yeah, so the cops were watching all these people, about 80 people, go enter that restaurant. So you know what that means. And says that according to surveillance videos, okay, and the cops themselves visited the premises 400 times, approximately 90 times for 2022, and then another 99 times in 2023. So, yeah, within 5 years, they went there 400 times, but specifically 2022 and 2023, they went there 90 times. The cops, 90 times, guys. 90. Since 2019, Moretti is the second licensed establishment where we are writing more reports after Chez Paré, another strip bar. Crazy, man. You know, Chez Paré is a historical gentleman's club, the strippers and all that, the more expensive. Historical, right? If we go back maybe 60 or 70 or 80 years ago, the first generation biker gangsters, I'm talking about Rizzutos didn't even exist. The Cotronis and all that, they used to control that location. Maybe even own it indirectly. I cannot remember. That's how Montreal is. That's how Montreal works. Could you imagine that? Chez Paré, basically like 70, 80 years ago. Spot coveted by gangsters. Now you move forward 2024, and here you have Chez Paré again being confirmed to you as being the number one hub for organized crime, where you will find bikers, gangsters going there. Still today. And I definitely remember in the beginning 2000s, I think. Don't quote me on this. I think I could be wrong here. Francesco Del Balzo left that place, and he may have shot someone in front of it. Don't quote me on this. It was either this or another, but it's another one like this if it's not this one. Like top 3 gangster places. There you have it, guys. Yeah, Adam Rogers says, "Told you I never disappoint with the extra." No, you don't. No, you don't, man. Absolutely perfect, dude. Perfect. You guys give a thank you to Adam Rogers. Always takes care of us. He sends us down this rabbit holes, and it's just perfect. Just perfect. It's exactly what we needed. It does not get better than this, my friends. I'm telling you, sincerely, it won't get better than this type of article. This is it. This is the cream of the cream. Because you got me here adding to it in my narcissistic fashion. I'm kidding. Because I'm reading this and I can remember history. That's what I mean. I read these stuff. I'm not like, I'm not just some guy in America, who doesn't know anything about Montreal, and I just want to milk this and increase my channel, and I'll talk about anything. I'm shooting crabs in a bucket. Anything I can, everyone's going to get a hit. And hopefully I'll land the algorithm and it'll go up. It doesn't work like that here, friend. Here I have my subject, my topic, my hometown, and been researching this for a very long time. I've lived it. I've seen it. I know the streets, and I'm going to be able to describe to you things. So it says here, continuing, since 2019, Moretti is the second licensed establishment, the number two that they wrote the most amount of reports because they're surveilling the location with everything. So yeah, crazy, man. He says we are visiting them every week, or at least once per week on my part, says François Totera. There you have it. I'm assuming this Italian gentleman hired him for a reason, because he understands the language and he'll be able to speak to the mobsters or understand. You know what I'm saying? It's very useful. Very useful. And here we have François Totera says, and he's a member of Eclipse, actually. He says, it's a well-known place for many years. He's underselling it. Not for, he says for numerous years. No, way more than that. We're talking about most of us were not even born. And the cops were surveilling this back then, before even Eclipse existed. Now, and among the clientele that they are frequenting, it is common to find individuals from different layers of organized crime. Let's see. Now, there's a picture. I'm very interested in this. This surveillance photo shows 2019. Okay. 2019, June 23rd. Okay. 5 years ago. It says, since 2019, numerous violent events happened inside and outside. Now, here I turn your attention. You could see, who's the problem child here, do you think? Probably him, for whatever reason. We don't know yet. But note the man purse there. In my time, you didn't wear a purse. These days, they want to look like they're packing heat. They want you to know if they're packing heat, instead of just hiding it, not making it obvious. I'm assuming that's what's there. It says, in June of 23rd, 2019, Salim Touaibi is searching the kitchen of Moretti. His fire tool hidden. At his request, hidden by an employee. So he asks an employee to hide his tool. I'm assuming the cops came in and he knew he had to hide it. What did I tell you? Where do you think the tool came from? Could it be it came from that man purse? 3 years later, Touaibi was accused for the offing of Meriam Bandawi. Now I know what you're talking about, bud. Wow. Round of applause for Adam Rogers, man. So I love this. This guy's he's truly crafty, because he draws like links like this, but the thing is, it's crazy to be able to find a link like this. It's pretty freaking crazy. Meriam Bundawi, sorry, my apologies. This is an innocent child who was going to school, I guess, or walking out, whatever. It doesn't really matter, what she was doing. She's an innocent. She's a child, bro. And they didn't try to offer, obviously. That's not the goal, but a stray round hit her, and she passed away. And I mentioned it on a previous video, and like maybe the last one. Remember, we were reading the article, and it was giving us a summary of either mistaken identity or collateral lives being taken whenever there is a war in Montreal for anything, whether it was the biker war before or the latest ones here. Like we had the woman and the child die in that building burning, allegedly by Arab power. But then we read that there was a Bendawi, whatever. Sorry, I'm gonna say whatever. She's gone. Meriam Bendawi. She got off like what 3 years ago. Okay. The man you see here, he's accused of offing her by accident, obviously. But there's no excuse. So 3 years after this footage here. So in 2022, he's the guy who's arrested for accidentally offing her. So note his presence in Chez Paris. There you go. So let's continue. I think Chez Paris is a spot where you can eat food, dine, and then, Maurice Mambouche went there. Everyone went there, and they had these negotiations. Whatever you want. It's all happened there. All that you can imagine. All the gangsters, every single one. And the place is still open, and it's still happening. Imagine this guy coming in that kitchen right at home, and asking the kitchen guy, hey, hide this for me. Do you just do that if you're not a regular there? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense if not. And this is a video that they showed in court to charge him. Let's keep going. Now, also, two clients. Note this, guys, crazy. Also, two clients, one of them a minor, asked an employee of the establishment to hide their tool from the police. So two other clients have done that also, guys. A minor and someone else hiding their ammo there. Okay, let's keep going. Now, what does this have to do with Moretti? Now, Moretti is the number 2 spot where there's the most of these guys coming in, going out, right? Okay. Just to follow the trail. On the 11th of November, rounds were let off at the windows of this restaurant. There you go. So it crossed my mind to tell you this, but I lost as I was thinking about telling you this, I forgot to tell you this. I do remember the name Moretti coming in the news the last few months, either a Molotov or a round going off. Well, here you go. 11 November, it was the rounds going off. Thank you to Adam Rogers, but you see, guys, every time I stream with you and we're reading these articles and I tell you this establishment burned, or last night we don't have any information, they let off rounds at this restaurant and its name is Moretti, which we did. We did this one. I can promise you that. We did do that one. Then I read that and I have nothing to give you, nothing to show for it. Then we just keep going on our day. You might be thinking that I'm wasting your time, but I'm doing that because eventually we're going to read something that's going to demystify that. Who could have been involved? Who are the players behind this? And you see, today we do get our answers. What kind of people were visiting this? Indirectly, we have our answer here. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So, this was in Moretti restaurant. Okay. Oh, my bad, guys. My bad. I want to make a correction. Correction here. This happened in the Moretti restaurant. Not Chez Paris. This one's the Moretti. Sorry about that. Got confused there. Because they jumped from one to the next. But they just briefly mentioned Chez Paris. Okay. So forget that. Be clear here, guys. This is inside that Moretti restaurant. Okay? Even better. It focuses us on this restaurant. It's even better. I love it. Good. Now, on the 11th of November, someone fired rounds at this restaurant. Who's this someone? Is it... because we had a list of people frequenting this location. So we have a Pietro Diadamo here, we have a Marco Pizzi here, we have the Sicilian faction, in other words. Then we have Hell's Angels visiting this. We have Marauders visiting this. Note says David Castelli is the president of the Marauders. So here you have an Italian name. Not that it's meaningful in this scenario, I don't think. But president of the Marauders. Note Jean-Philippe Celestin just got patched into that. Was he not? Right? So, and then we got Hell's Angels. Okay, these are the people that have been visiting there. Now, is someone targeting them, sending them a message, or is one of them sending a message here? For who? We don't know nothing. So let's keep going. So now the cops are just saying that all this shows us is that this location is a public security threat. Imagine you want to go eat there. You never know when shit can pop off, right? It says the non-criminalized population could be at risk. Yeah, he's right. Just here's a tip. I don't know how that could happen, but don't be there after midnight. That's what I can tell you. Usually these firebombings and rounds going off, it's after midnight. So don't do it. Let's see what's going on. So, okay, who's the owner so far? The owner of Moretti is a Nicola Monaco. There you have it. What do we have here? So now it's saying they may have suspended his alcohol license, but whoever makes the decision is saying there is no question. No, it is not. It is not possible, basically, to say that Mr. Monaco is frequenting people of organized crime. But this clientele is always present at his establishment. And she deplores that there is no metal detectors at the entrance. Neither are they identifying people. That in order to, I don't know, what is he going to know? If he's not involved and doesn't know anyone, how is identifying someone? Is he going to say, hey, excuse me, can you show me your ID and if it says Hell's Angels on it? I don't think the government issues those out yet. Let's see, keep going. He said, now she adds, I'm not saying that this clientele has a stranglehold on this establishment. I am not underlying that Mr. Monaco knows every single one of these individuals personally, adds Maître Pilon. But she's trying to underlie the fact that this situation is sort of showing that this owner is either very careless or he's willingly blind to what should be easily perceived by being there if you're the owner. Because, look, guys, let's be clear here. The cops are watching your establishment. You didn't notice 400 times in 5 years they were watching you. 80 times, 90-something times in 2022, 90 times in 2023. Cops never came in there asking you questions, speaking to you. Probably seeing some Hells Angels walk in, patched or not. These people are, a lot of times these kinds of people are very, they lack manners. They lack a way of, they think they're big shots. They act like they own the place, some of them, Like, look, he just came in, he walked in, and he demanded you to hide the Glock. Not just him. 2 other kids also did that. So I'm not reaching here, You got to be kind of willfully blind is pretty, I think it's pretty reasonable to say from her. Let's keep going here. Where were we? Where were we here? Okay, yeah, we're here. Look, she's saying exactly what I was deriving to you. Quote, when the owner sees the frequency in which the Eclipse Squad presents itself, when we see well-known people like the Rizzutos, it is impossible to close your eyes to this type of clientele. Right? Here you go, guys. Tell me, guys, can you buy some cane there? Is that, or is just a place to go and they like to meet there? What's up, Okay, here, maybe I got my answer. Maybe if it's truthful. Actually, it's funny, huh? Everything's answering itself so far. Quote: This is not this is not a gathering spot for criminals. This is not a location where bandits are holding meetings. It's a prized establishment on the territory of Montreal. There are criminalized people, says the police, but there are also people who are not, says the lawyer of Moretti establishment, David Bourgoin. Of course, the wording of his lawyer. For a moment, I thought it was the cops, and I was like, oh, okay. No, of course not. Why would the cops say that? It's hilarious, man. These lawyers are as good as criminals themselves. Let's keep going. Where are we here? His lawyer also pleads that his client has collaborated numerous times with officers, and even asked his employees that they could call him anytime they needed help. Yeah, such as the 3 times they got past the Glock. He added that no client was wearing any distinctive signs on them indicating that they belonged to a criminal group. I highly doubt that. It never happened at all. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. He accused the officers of name dropping, and he deplores that witnesses were not able to give more details. I don't get what he's saying. That witnesses, he's complaining that witnesses did not give more details as to the background of criminality of the clients of the restaurants, of which names were cited in these court audiences. I have no idea what any of that means, honestly, what he's trying to say. I'm a little bit lost. The logic's not there for me. Well, wait, we have a quote. Maybe it'll clarify this. Leonardo Rizzuto, is he really the Godfather? We don't know that, says the lawyer, who is demanding a suspension of the permit for 25 days rather than having it suspended for 45. The 40, right? So I see. They didn't really suspend it yet. They're trying to or something. The alcohol license of Moretti was already suspended for 45 days during the COVID stuff. Right. Okay. There you go. Wow. Huh? Good one, huh? Good Lord. That was a fun article to read. What are some useful things to get out of this? They have street gang members walking in. And they're so comfortable with the locations like this that they're willing to put the Glocks inside. You have lawyers defending them that are gonna say they're gonna go against the freaking obvious. Okay, but you got an Italian owner and you got Italian mafia going there, and it's a luxury location, luxury spot. But not only that, but they're saying that what I don't understand is and you got 80 individuals from either Hells Angels or the mafia visiting this location in the last 5 years. Now note one thing though. It says that Hells Angels of Montreal chapter, and you got the Sicilian faction also going there. Well, if they are at war, why are they going to the same location? If they are truly at war, right? I read that only once in one article. I'm not willing to jump on that no matter what. I'm not set in stone on that. But it looks like it is. It looks like it is. But I can't say. I don't know anything. But the only answer I could have for that is It says in the last 5 years these people were seen together. They were maybe not at war 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe they just started on the dot like 4 years ago, and that's why it's normal that at a certain point in the last 5 years when they were friendly, they were seen going there. Now it doesn't say they were seen together. Doesn't necessarily say they were seen together there, but it does say they all visited that location. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're all visiting that location. That's impossible. Not likely. Very unlikely. Although some very unlikely things have happened, such as yesterday, we had one. We had one that was a total fluke. The guy with the 2 properties burning. But one of them was the psychopath. We could dispel that. But anyways, Adam says in 2023, a security guard. Oh, sorry, I missed another one. In total, police say they questioned 736 persons of interest linked to outlaw motorcycle gang, traditional organized crime, Middle Eastern crime groups, and various networks with blue and red gangs. In Moretti. Now he's writing, in 2023, a security guard called police. So he called police after an aggressive man wanted to enter the establishment, pulled a tool out. The suspect was arrested with a knife and 10,000 cash on him, as well as the Glock. Man, some people are really, really. Why would you go with a $10,000 with you to do something like that? Is that him? Now look at that. He hooked us up. This one is January 5th, 2023. The other one was, I guess it was 2024. So 1 year and a quarter before that. Nice. Thank you. Let's read. We get more answers on this. So the title of this video says, I'm not leaving without my tool or my rubber. Is that it? Rubber? But I forgot the name. I think it's rubber. But he means the tool. I guess he means the tool. The tool he told them that he's hiding, that he wants them to hide, I guess. Salim Touabi is looking for a Glock that he had hidden in the kitchen, Moretti's, in Griffintown. So, French Montana here. Let's see. The accused was arrested 2 years earlier. Yeah, he's the one who offed the girl. He was arrested 2 years earlier in a restaurant. Yeah, in this restaurant. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not leaving without my lead. Oh, there you go. It's lead, right? Sorry, I get lost with the translations. It says, I'm not leaving without my lead. These are the words, without doubt, that Salim Touaibi, later on accused for the offing of the adolescent girl, Meriam Boundawi, would have signified to the personnel of the restaurant, where he had just hidden his tool, which he was not planning on abandoning there. And this happened before the offing that is reproached to him of that girl. But already there, the 26-year-old, nicknamed Avatar and well known by cops, was walking in public with his tool charged. The round giver, it was charged. In June of 2019, the arm that was found inside of his purse caused a turmoil inside of a popular restaurant in Griffintown. See, what did I tell you? It was in there. The guys not even trying. They watch TV and they imitate each other. If they, I always thought about this. If one day, if bunch of you put a penis tattoo on your face and you go on rap videos, you're gonna start seeing clowns putting the penis tattoo on their faces. But yeah, imagine that you have a Glock, you're wearing a purse, so everyone knows you have a Glock, and you're gonna walk around like that. It's so freaking stupid. But make yourself an easy target by cops. They're already salivating for you. Go ahead, walk around with a purse. But yeah, let's keep going here. So that evening, members of gangs On that summer night, like other restaurants, no, it was another night like other nights in the restaurant Moretti. That's what it's saying. Music festival, ambiance, animated discussions, lively discussions, generous portions of pasta and truffles. The Eclipse Squad of the Montreal Police is scanning the room, looking for people in the dining area of the pizzeria. That's making me hungry, but I'm on a diet. I'm still cutting. The officers detect two subjects hidden seated in the bar. So they find two subjects that interest them, two people. One member of an active gang, then aged 17 years old. This popular rapper is they surveil him very closely for his promotion of rounds. So there you go. So here's an example of the stupidity, So he's flagging that he has a Glock on him, but he's not the only one. Other people, like a rapper, he's rapping about Glocks and what he does with them. So the cops are, because of that, it says, the police officers are keeping an eye out on him. They take him for every word while he's snitching himself in rap videos. But because he's a minor, he could not be identified. Let's keep going. Now, another dude with a white t-shirt is at his side or walking by his side. I'm not too sure. It is Salim Touaibi, that dude. So they were together, right? A 26-year-old with a 17-year-old. What are you doing together? He's nicknamed Avatar in the streets. The 26-year-old would be arrested in 2022 in link with Myriam Bendawi. This is the teenager who was offed by rounds in Saint Léonard in February 2021. And the man was accused, right, of attempted offing against 4 other people who were on the scene. So he was trying to kill 4 people, guys. But in his super professionalism, he managed to off a girl, a child instead. And on top of that, someone that looks like him, someone of his own community. For French Montana here, he got her. Should call himself French Montana, actually. 23rd of June 2019. Touaibi presents himself into a popular Italian restaurant nearby at 8 p.m. in company of a young rapper. And he has his black purse on his neck. This purse is holding a Taurus 9mm, charged with 6 units, guys. Which usually has a capacity of 15 units. But he has 6 of them, apparently. The duo sit down at a table. And they're having a heartwarming discussion with personnel in the restaurant. 1 hour later, the police of the SPVM enter that location and they start inspecting the area, right? So I think we're talking about Moretti here. It has to be. Because I thought we were still in St. Leonardo and he was going to talk about the girl, but no, she died. It's true. She got offed in 2021. Forget about it. This is definitely before, as the article said. Sorry, I get lost sometimes. So 1 hour. So they're eating. He's eating with his pal. About an hour after he started eating, I guess, he notices the cops are coming in to inspect the location. Because it's being freaking visited by organized crime. Hell's Angels, all of them. Now, when the cops see Salim Touaibi with the rapper, which they have now I guess they put notes on your file. If you're a rapper online, they can just put a note on your name, and then when the cops spot you, they know you might have the tool on you. You snitched yourself. But Salim's mistake is he was sitting next to the guy. But honestly, he was also as reckless. He's wearing a purse. A purse, guys. Grown men wearing purse. But they do it to be tough. We're living in a new generation. And Salim is invited outside the restaurant, whereas his friend is still sitting at the bar. Interesting. They didn't go for the other guy. Now, seemingly nervous, I guess they want to separate you and then take you one at a time and interrogate you one at a time. It's easier, or maybe tactical reasons. Who knows? But when they took Salim outside, it says that he was nervous. He seemed nervous. The man then hands his purse to a server, someone who's working there, right? Who's working behind the bar. He then goes outside. The barmaid places the purse behind the bar table, or whatever you call it. And then the server starts speaking to her colleague. And the colleague, after she speaks to him, she tells him something. It's the colleague who's working there with her who goes and grabs the purse. Says he went and he got the purse after that. Who knows what's going on? Now, Robin Gone, the employee in question, okay, the guy, right? The colleague. Then takes the purse. No, he places the purse inside of a black bag. But it's not any type, just to be clear, it's a backpack, a black backpack, sorry. And once he puts the guy's purse inside of the black backpack, it says, he directs himself to the back of the restaurant where there is trash bins or trash containers. And he does this to arrive to that location with the trash bins. He has to pass through a sort of mini hallway in the kitchen. Now, I'm assuming that's what you're seeing on the screen right now. So, let me play it. There you go. You see him? He's holding the bag and he's going there. He's running. You see how nervous he is? Do you notice? Like, I don't know, man. That's look. Maybe not. He's walking fast. Maybe he's just walking fast. But why? Why do you need to? Who knows, man? Maybe he has no idea what's in it. He probably doesn't. Let's keep going. Now, Tuabi and his friend go back inside the restaurant. Well, I thought his friend was inside. He was only called out alone. So I guess they then call his friend too to come outside, or he himself came outside to join him. Because clearly it says Tuabi and his friend return inside the restaurant after the cops leave. They are waiting for each other, evidently, in order to recuperate the bag that was hidden by an employee. Now, it says misdeed discovered. It's getting interesting. Nothing happens as planned for the misgivers. A kitchen worker discovers with horror the Glock inside the space where the containers were. He informs his superior. Oh, okay, this is good. This is a bunch of good revelations here. They did not know, friend. This bodes well for the establishment a little bit, you know? He informs his superior. Now, I don't know what this means. I have no idea. But they say that then they decide to displace the Glock with the help of a... you clean dishes with a I forgot what the word is. You have like a sort of a napkin. It's not a napkin, but you know that cloth you use to clean dishes. So he says, of course, he's trying not to leave evidence, right? So he's taking basically that cloth, and he's wrapping his hands around the cloth to grab the Glock. That's what's happening. So he moves the Glock in that way, with a cloth. And this is not. I don't think it's on camera. These are facts being revealed in court. Okay? Now let's look. There's another footage. This is great. Now I'm assuming this is Taibi or whatever Taubi. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I forget. Tuaibi. So let's look. Yeah, that looks like him. He looks like he's speaking to the employees. He looks a little bit nervous and he looks a little bit frustrated. Then the other employee body language is they have their. Did you notice? You see, they have like that reluctant body language. You can't really see her, but you see the hands are on her face or on her head, and the other hands is crossed underneath. Now he's bending over. Sorry about that. And he checked. He's not finding what he wants. He turns around. He goes to the other side. And that's all we got. Now, it says Salim Tuaibi and the server Robin Gon. Just to be sure here, is it the same guy? Yeah, Robin Gon. Short memory, eh? Salim Tuaibi and the server Robin Gon then direct their path towards the garbage. Remember, that's where allegedly the Glock went. Remember? The entire thing attracts the attention of employees in the kitchen. Surprised, they go to follow the two men. Probably because they're arguing. It looks like they're nervous or something like that. And then the other employees notice that and they decide, hey, what's going on? Let's go check. And they follow them. That is, they follow Robin Gon and Tawibi. And they follow him until they arrive to the other, whatever room it is, with the containers, right? Where the Glock would have been. Where it was carried to, remember? And here in the description, it says that Salim Taibi in white is speaking to an employee to find his lost round. So that's literally what's happening. They're describing what's happening because this has been presented in court. It's confirmed that this happened. You know, because you could look at this video and you could say something else. You could say, oh, they're just having a conversation. No, this is not. They're not just having a conversation. It's confirmed. It was about the Glock. Okay. And you see the body language of the guy exactly like I told you. So that's what we saw. It was literally this. It wasn't a woman. It was him. Next, the situation is tense. The young bandit and Tawibi begin to have an argument with the personnel. The video surveillance cameras seen here, shown by La Presse, show the 26-year-old is going nuts. He's going bananas. He lifts his arms in the air many times and becomes aggressive towards the employees. Nervous, the employees of the restaurant bar compose 911. And here's a quote. I guess they called, this is the police conversation on the phone with the cops. A conflict has just exploded between two men, and a Glock has been spotted. Can we read it? Oh, no, this is a document, a court document, sorry. Or maybe not. No, this is the court document that says that. My apologies. Now, they're both panicking. Tuaibi is panicking. The server working there is panicking. And they both move towards the front of the restaurant, where they find the bag. Remember, he took the Glock, he gave it to someone, and they put it inside of a backpack, remember? And that backpack went inside of a plastic, I think, in the trash. But I think they found the backpack. Now, when they went to the backpack, they opened it, and guess what? The Glock was not there anymore. Now, the two criminals move back and forth in the restaurant looking for it. These two are agitated. And they go into the back and they start to look at the container. But certain employees of the restaurant start to telling them like, "Hey, you're not allowed to go there. You can't go there." And then he says, "I'm not leaving without my lead," impatiently says Salim Touaibi, referencing his round, his Glock, right? And then of course they called the cops after that. Here they are. You see? So they came to bring him, to take him down. You did all that to yourself. You wanted to show off that you had a Glock for no reason. You came to this restaurant with a purse with a Glock there. You entered that restaurant with the Glock there, and I don't know if it's an accident that you were there, or you know that you're gonna meet someone. Maybe, I don't know, but you sort of did that to yourself. Now the cops came in, and you forced the other people to hold your Glock. Random people in the restaurant. Here, hold this. I guess it was worth the risk, but it didn't pay off, bro, at all, man, whatsoever. Crazy. Now the Glock was finally. They found the Glock, and by the way, the serial number was raised off, right? And it's found it was found in the trash bin, basically in the back of the store, and the DNA of Touaibi was detected on the Glock. Good thing the guy used his sheet, his cloth, huh? Imagine if the other guy would be accused. What the heck? Look, he says he was declared guilty of numerous chiefs of accusations related to the firearms, condemned to months in prison. Robin Gunn, the server, was accused of transporting the Glock negligently, since he had hidden the Glock instead of alerting police. So they're trying to blame him for that. But he obtained a conditional absolution. The server is not known by the police and has no links with criminal groups. Quote, Mr. Gunn, on the moment, thought about the security of his employees, and he wanted to distantiate, I don't know what the word is, keep as far away as possible the Glock from the bar itself. That was his objective. He was afraid for everyone that night. He panicked and he hid the Glock that he found. Yeah, that's common sense. La Presse has contacted the restaurant Moretti in order to get more information on the situation. The owner and the manager preferred not to react. Yeah, anyways, we're going to skip that. Yeah, anyways, we'll leave it there. I think that's it. That's all we get right now. So maybe it's just a coincidence he's in that restaurant. But man, it was entertaining, no? It was entertaining to see how everything links up. Everything links up eventually. Stuff that we see in the past. We see this restaurant being sent rounds in November 2023. Then we find out that was it November? Then we find out that actually that same year, at the beginning of the year, January, there was another event that happened there, and the cops were already surveilling that establishment. So for 5 years, the cops are surveilling that establishment. They know that it's a dangerous place for the public. There's nothing they can do about it because we're in Canada. And eventually, this restaurant becomes a target of a shooting. Someone's trying to send a message to this restaurant. Question is, Could this be it? Could this be the? Is this a restaurant controlled by the Italian mafia, and are they under attack by the old people that also visited here? The Hells Angels who are at war with them. Maybe that's the question you could ask yourself. Perhaps, what do we know? We're just reading this and trying to figure out what's happened, what could have happened. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this video here, man. It's long enough. 1 a.m. I didn't want it to go this far, man. I just wanted to do a quick 20-30 minute stream, Anyways, guys, have a great night. Hope you enjoyed this one. It's interesting, Well, you see, Montreal is like Gotham City, right there. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But yeah, I believe the uploads will slow down a lot. Maybe I might just do the major ones. I've told you it's coming. It's coming. But yeah, I might slow it down. But have a great night, man. Thank you for joining in. Hit the like if you enjoyed it. If you want to motivate me to keep going, subscribe. Only you're gonna watch, bro. Only if you're gonna watch. Subscribe and consider donating to the work that we do here. We're the first to do this. No one was interested before. And now everybody wants to do it. Everyone. All of a sudden, they had years of this information in front of their face happening. For years. You could tell, no? None of them were interested. But monkey see, monkey do. Fear of missing out. I had one innocent person yesterday, I think, or today, but I'm not the first. It keeps happening over and over and over. I'm trying to squash that. I wasn't going to say anything. I just deleted it and said, yeah, it's all good. But it says, you should go on Original Gangster Podcast. They got nothing, and no hate against the guy. He's talented, no hate. But he's in America, dude. He's exactly the type of person, the kind of content maker I'm not too much of a fan of. I don't hate him, of course not. It's not good to hate anyone, and he's talented at what he does. But yeah, you asked the wrong guy. Not a hater, but not a fan either. But if I see a Canadian channel doing it, I support that 100%. I don't care who it is, Canadian content makers. I believe, I like to see Canadian content creators talk about their own stories, And Americans, they have way more stories than us. They have an economy, 10 times bigger economy, 10 times the population, 10 times the stories. Why do you have to come and grab the stories from Canada? Exactly. Why, But this is the world we live in, They don't have a foot they don't have a foot here at all, but they want to tell the other people's stories right there. Not even speak the language. Where are you going to get the information if you don't speak the language? Well, you're going to have to listen to people like us here and then use that and pretend it's your own research, Or you're going to have to grab some random people emailing you, But yeah, it's not my I don't really jive with that too much. But nothing against the dude who recommended it. He said he wants to see that. But yeah, it's not for me. Not for me. Not because I hate the guy or anything like that, or you should bug him or anything like that. Good for him. He's good at what he does. But I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, imagine me telling you the story of the New York Mafia right now. What exactly happened? Or what's happening there right now. Man, I don't even know what's on what street. I don't even know how the people there think, I don't know how an Italian dude in Brooklyn, New York, how is he thinking? Well, I don't know the lore. I don't understand any of it, But I'm going to do that I need to make money. I need to make this work. Look, my channel is not working out. My channel is not working out at all. I should be trying to do everything possible, including selling my mother, People these days, they'll do anything for money, man. I'm telling you, I'm serious. Some people, if you told them, show the picture of your mother's tits and you'll be a millionaire tonight, I guarantee it. They'll do it. They'll say, you know what? It's the price to pay. It's worth it, man. I don't have to. After this, all my problems are solved. Me, even if I'm homeless tomorrow and I need this money, I'm not gonna do that. There's certain things you just don't do. For me, I have my limits. I have my limits and stuff that I won't do. Too bad the channel that dies here. But yeah, and I obviously can't keep uploading at this rate. Continuously uploading at this rate, I'm doing it for the love a little bit. I enjoy you guys hanging out with you. That's about the reason why this has been going on. Did you not see how furiously I've been uploading the past few months for you? But yeah, even that can't go on forever. I'll be honest. I forewarned you in advance. But yeah, it's not like you need me anymore. You don't worry, dude. I'm sure someone in New Jersey's gonna tell you the story now. Doesn't speak français at all. He'll tell you the story. Don't worry, man. He's gonna try anything to make it work. Anyways, have a good one. Have a great night, guys.